Doubts are continuing to grow over claims of a chemical weapons attack in the Syrian city of Douma earlier this month. A number of Western journalists who travelled to the city say they are struggling to find eyewitnesses to confirm the reports. I discussed the story with RT's senior correspondent Murad Gazdiev.
If you were expecting any concrete evidence of Assad's culpability or even any such suggestion, well, you were in for a disappointment.
We're just coming back from a town about 5 kilometers from here, and it has approximately 20,000 people who have fled from eastern Ghouta and above all Douma. The people there are telling us, very persuasively, that this whole story from April the 7th was staged.
There are many people I talked to amid the ruins of the town who said that they never believed in gas stories, which they usually put about, they claimed by, the armed Islamist groups.
These are serious journalists that we're talking about. Robert Fisk, a reporter from The Independent, he has decades of experience in the Middle East. He went to East Ghouta, to Douma, spoke to locals and witnesses and doctors working at the medical facility. All of them told him they didn't know anyone who had suffered in this attack, who had been a victim. All they know is that someone said something about chemical attacks. As a reporter, German reporter from ZDF, there's this trend of people, journalists, coming out and saying, hold on, maybe we got this wrong. And invariably they face backlash if they go against what the media has been saying for weeks and weeks now, trumpeting that Assad did this. Suddenly, if you say, hold on a second, they come right after you. There was a retired British general who was on Sky News, I believe, and he said, you know, it doesn't make sense for Assad to have done this. Well, look what happened to him.
What possible motive might have triggered Syria to launch a chemical attack at this time in this place? You know, the Syrians are winning, and then suddenly you get...
OK, I'm very sorry. You've been very patient waiting for us, but we do need to leave it there. I'm very sorry. Thank you very much indeed. It
just seems like many in Western media and Western governments already have their minds made up. They've decided they know what has happened. Look at the United States, backed by Britain and France. It launched an attack on Syria mere hours before OPCW specialists were due to arrive on the scene.
On that point, the OPCW, Organisation for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, there had been criticism that why weren't they in Douma? They're there now, right?
Yeah, they arrived on Saturday. They've collected samples, but due to how they work, their procedures, they're all very hush-hush, so there isn't a lot of information.
Where did the claims originate from? Where's the story coming out from?
Well, all pro-rebel sources. The first one was the White Helmets, which are largely financed by Western governments, pro-rebel, act as rescuers for rebel fighters, and they released videos from a hospital showing them dousing people with water, allegedly the victims of a chemical attack. Then there was the Syrian American Medical Society, which is financed again by the United States to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars, and they claimed that they treated 500 people with symptoms of exposure to chemical agents. It's these two sources that were cited by almost the entirety of the media and governments. It was their reports and their videos that went out. Nevertheless, with growing opinion, growing views, witnesses, testimony that nothing such happened, you know, you've got to question where they got this from, where this information and why this information appeared in the first place. Nevertheless, the Russian position is that we shouldn't jump to conclusions. We should wait until there's hard facts with which we can, you know, come to a judgment.